1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hey folks,
Howdy folks,
Ben Winship.
Tom Murphy.
We are the mandolin department of Targhee Bluegrass Camp, part of it anyway, and we want to welcome you all here and give you a little presentation on kicks and clicks. We're going to talk about kickoffs and clicks of the metronome.
Yes.
And that tune we just played for you is a Norman Blake tune called The New Brick Road.
Yes.
And it turns out that today's Norman's 83rd birthday,
Mm-hmm.
so we thought it would be fun to...
A little tribute to Norman, one of our favorite artists out there.
Yeah.
And I kicked off that song with a count-in. I did played the metronome playing with us, and I also did 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so Ben knew right where the song was going to begin.
That's right. I think we're bringing this up because we've both had the experience of playing with sometimes really great musicians who have a hard time kicking off a tune or counting it in
Mm-hmm.
a way that they might be able to play the intro on their instrument, but their fancy intro might not make a lot of sense without a little bit of if we don't know the song already or whatever. It's really helpful to have some kind of verbal cue that goes along with that.
Yeah, because there's all sorts of instrumental ways to lead into that song, but you want the band to be really ready to come in right on that one beat.
Right. And some intros might start on the downbeat, some might start on the second beat, some might start on the third beat,
Mm-hmm.
some might start on the fourth beat. And so by counting ahead of time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, your fellow musicians are going to know where the downbeat is, and that's 99% of the time where you want them to join you.
Exactly. The time that you are all locking into is the first beat of every measure. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Everything is going to be based on knowing where that one beat is. So we're just trying to come up with ways to cue the band on where's the one.
Right. Another thing you'll come across that's sort of a non-verbal version of that is what some people might call potatoes. They might sound like this. So I was playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, so it's nice and clear. I knew right where to come in on that chord. Yeah, and there's not every instrumental song is going to have pickup notes. Like
Right.
that Norman Blake song, really, that just came in on the one.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Right.
So you can't always just hear notes that are going to tell you where the song is. So you need to have some sort of established communication with your band members on where that first beat is.
Right. So if counting off a tune has ever been something that's been hard for you to do, don't be ashamed. There's a lot of people that aren't good at it, and it's worth taking the time. That's something you can actually practice.
Yes.
So maybe put on a metronome, figure out what beat the intro starts on, and figure out how to do your count and kind of put it all together in a way that helps the communication.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your bandmates will love you for it, and the audience will love you for it. 'Cause
Right.
The band will sound better. Another way to keep the audience loving you and the band loving you is to play the music in time. And one of the tools we have for practicing that is the metronomes.
Yeah.
Ben's got a good old-fashioned metronome here. It has a nice woody sound to it.
Yeah, I like the old style metronome. I like anything I can do to get away from my phone and my computer, and this thing sounds more like an instrument to me than a beep on a computer. But anyway, that's just personal preference. There's a million great metronomes you can get as apps on your iPhone or your laptop, or there's handheld electronic metronomes too, or
Yeah.
drum machines.
Exactly, and one of the, speaking of drum machines, one of the metronomes that we like the sound of is one that sounds a little bit more like an acoustic drum set. And you can get those on your phone too if you get the right kind of app. So that just sounds like more like a drum to me, even though it's plugged in. It gives us, and it's plugged in so we can make it louder. If you're practicing with your whole band, you might want to turn the metronome up a little bit. If you're practicing by yourself, you can get a nice quiet one so you don't annoy your family.
Right.
But another thing about the beats of the metronome is how do you want to count it? The most common way of counting something like this would be like going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's on 1 and 3. Play a little bit, yeah. And this is all about just subdivisions of those 4 beats.
Right.
So let me take
So
this up to double.
That was 90 beats per minute?
Yes.
Okay. So Tom's going to set it at twice that, 180 beats per minute, which will give me a little bit more support.
Yes. But he'll play it in the same tempo that he played the last one in.
Etc.
Yeah, so in the first version, we were feeling the beat on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This last one was 1, 2, 3, 4. One for every beat.
Right.
But the tempo is the same, but we're just kind of eliminating some of that extra beat in there. And we can go half of the 90 also,
Right.
which is going to give you a lot more space between the beats.
So we're not changing the tempo that I'm playing the tune at, but we're changing the amount of clicks that I get to play along with. So at 45, so the fewer the clicks, the more accountable we have to be as pickers to stay in time. And we're running through this stuff really quickly, but in practice it's great to just let it go for a while, and after a while you can feel yourself kind of start to internalize that beat.
Exactly.
So metronomes are great just for your internal clock, and the more in time you play, the more, like Tom said, other people are gonna appreciate it, and your audience will also. Everyone feels rhythm, so.
And some people feel rhythm on the 1 and 3, and some people feel rhythm on the 2 and 4.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So Ben has a nice little. He figured out a way to practice with the 2 and 4 after he'd been practicing with the 1 and 3, because it's a little confusing. You have to make your brain switch over.
That's right. So in our first example, we had the metronome clicking on the first and third beat of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So if I want to switch it up so that I'm playing with the metronome clicking on the what some folks call the backbeat, the 2 and the 4, and I've been practicing like I just was, it's a little bit hard to make that mental shift. So what I would do is I'll count with a metronome, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, emphasizing with my voice loudly on the 1 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll stop. I'll leave the metronome running, but I'm going to stop, and instead of saying 1 on the first click, I'm going to say 2. And I'll continue to emphasize loudly with my voice, so I'll say 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then at a certain point, I'm going to try to say 1 loudly and fool my brain into
Shifting over.
shifting the emphasis.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it feels a little bit hipper to me to have the metronome clicking on the backbeats.
Especially as mandolin players, we love the backbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's the coolest part of bluegrass music is the backbeat. That's
Yeah.
how we play mandolin.
That's right.
But it helps the whole band too, of course.
So, and then after a big long session of rehearsing with the mandolin, maybe we're feeling time well enough that we can play without it.
1, 2, 3, 4. See you at Targhee.